continue this discussion with Niall Stanage, a White House columnist for The Hill. So now, what is the significance here? I mean, we hear lawmakers going back and forth, but this is a bigger issue. What's the context?
Well, the context is really whether the courts have the capacity to rescind or revoke decisions by the FDA. And I think whatever people's political or ideological views, or even their views of abortion, the idea that the court should be allowed to do that gives a lot of people pause, I think, because clearly we're in a very polarized time. And to vest the court with the idea that it can, as I say, rescind decisions that at least are intended to be based on science seems quite a risky proposition right now.
I can certainly understand that. And a major anti-abortion group is now threatening to oppose former President Trump for not backing a 15-week federal abortion ban. The president of the Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America saying, quote, President Trump's assertion that the Supreme Court returned the issue of abortion solely to the states is a completely inaccurate reading of the Dobbs decision and is a morally indefensible position for a self-proclaimed pro-life presidential candidate to hold. So is this a problem for him moving forward? And does this open up the field for candidates to kind of think about their messaging?
It depends how you define a problem. It could be challenging in a Republican primary. The Republican primary electorate is one in which evangelicals and born-again Christians are very heavily represented, and obviously they tend to vote from a conservative standpoint on these issues. So it does give the former president's rivals on the right, perhaps someone like Vice President Pence, room to run. The one thing I would add, though, briefly, Kelly, is this is perhaps quite a rare issue in which it is the former president who is more closely in step with the general population than he is with the Republican base, because in polls, around about 60% of people think that abortion should be legal in all or most circumstances. So a very hardline conservative position isn't that popular with the general public.
Interesting. So you know this, the Supreme Court decision isn't just about the abortion pill, but the FDA approval process at large. So what are the bigger implications if the ban is upheld?
Well, I mean, the bigger implications are the authority of the court being extended to reverse or rescind these decisions. And it's an interesting point because the clip you played earlier had Liberal or Democratic politicians objecting to that. But in fact, in the past, some of the conservative justices on the court, including Chief Justice Roberts, have been quite protective of the FDA. There was a 2021 case revolving around an earlier decision in Maryland, where the Chief Justice said that the courts owed deference to the FDA and other similar bodies. So it is a possibility that that position could be reversed, but it would be very controversial if the court basically said the FDA was wrong to make the decision it made now a long time ago.
Yeah. And we will be watching. All right, now, Stanage, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.